Yes, I can hear. I'm back. I'm talking to Dean MacNeil. We're exploring Bob Marley's, Bob Marley, the Bible and Bob Marley, really. So, what, Dean? What have you learned? What will we learn from this book that hasn't been out there before? Because there's been so many books written on the life of Bob Marley. What makes your book any more enlightening?
Well, it's the only book that is dedicated to this particular subject, Bob Marley's interpretation of the Bible, and the centrality of the Bible to Marley as a man and as a musician, and to his message. As I explained earlier, in this particular book, I am focusing on two parts of the Bible that Bob Marley quotes most often: his use of biblical wisdom, such as Psalms and Proverbs, and his use of the letters of Paul. And the focus is there. Now, when it comes to wisdom, that is the most quoted part of the Bible for Bob Marley. That is the type of biblical literature that he turns to most often and incorporates into his songs. And I'll give you just a little example here of where other books and movies about Marley fall short. Many people know about the great recent documentary of Bob Marley, and it makes a great point about how, when he faced rejection from his family, he went and he wrote a song called Cornerstone. The stone that the builder refused will always be the head cornerstone. And that's a great observation. However, what they miss is that that is a line Bob takes right from Scripture. It's Psalm 118. So again, turning to the Psalms is something that Marley kind of teaches me. In times of struggle, turn to the Psalms. If you're facing adversity, you could find inspiration in the Psalms. Marley saw himself in Scripture. He saw himself as that cornerstone. He also saw Africa as that cornerstone that awaits its creation. In the song Africa Unite, it awaits recreation. The cornerstone is a new beginning for Bob Marley. So it's very important to look at the context of the musician, what he was going through at the time, what particular scripture passage he's utilizing at that time. So one of the things that comes out of the book that has never been explored adequately is that the wisdom of the Bible was central to Bob Marley. And you could see this even today. Anybody on the internet gets these quotations from Bob Marley. And it's kind of funny because a lot of them are apocryphal. And Bob Marley didn't really say that. But, because they're a wise saying, people say that Bob Marley said it because he's got this reputation now of a wise man. And where does that come from? Marley is a wisdom teacher, just like the sages who wrote the Proverbs and many of the Psalms in the Old Testament. And he's a modern wisdom sage. And that is something very important. And I think that's one of the things that this book makes clear about him as a person and as an artist that is new and is, really quite refreshing for fans and also for people who aren't acquainted with his music. Some folks that are checking out this book, they're actually in seminary, and their interest is the Bible, but they're finding interest in it. So it's got a broad appeal, both to fans of Marley and fans of the Bible and everybody in between.